رؤسای جمهور آمریکا و اروپا و بسیاری از مسئولین کشورهای غربی و حتی خاک شیطان پرست هستند. ایلیامین رهبر جمعیت الهی الیاسین مدعی الوهیت و منجیگری است، منحرف است. شیطان پرستی یک فرقه سکولیستی است و CIA و موساد قصد دارند بعد از شناسایی منجی شیعیان حضرت مهدی وی را ترور کنند. این مطلب خلاصه‌ای از قسمت‌های 24, 25 و 26 سریال آرمگدون نبرد آخر زمان میان خیر و شر است که بعد از بارها تکرار از شبکه خبر جمهوری اسلامی ایران و دیگر رسانه‌های آن طبق پیش‌بینی مجددا در سالگرد 11 سپتامبر از شبکه‌های ماهواره جمهوری اسلامی ایران چند بار پخش شد. نکته عجیب این است که چرا مسئولین تبلیغاتی جمهوری اسلامی تأکید ویژه و خاصی بر تکرار پیداکاری دو قسمت پایانی این سریال یعنی آرمگدون 25 و 26 دارند. طبق گفته کارشناس برنامه آرمگدون متحد است مختص شیطان پرستان. دیگر مجموعه تلویزیونی آرمگدون عبارت است از پلورالیسم رسانه‌ای، کوریدور شوک، مسئولیت و بهایت، یورش امواج، شبکه‌های ماهواره‌ای، فیسبوک و مایکروسافت، نبرد صلیبی صهیونی، بازخوانی تاریخ سینمای ایران، تراشیدن منجی‌های بازی، فرقه‌های صهیونی، تروریست‌های کودتاچی، رویای سرزمین موعود، جنایات بهایت، درویشان سکولار، عرفان‌های موضوعات مانند دولتی، کریشنامورتی، سای بابا و کمک زنیسم. و اما دو قسمت آخر با تعداد زیاد فیلم، کتاب و مقالات تخریبی موازی حمایت شده است، معنویت‌های آنارشیستی، پیرامون، پائولو کوئلو، اوباما و توطئه‌های صهیونی.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and I'm so glad that we have this opportunity to have a discussion and exchange our opinions about the character assassination which is extensively ongoing in Iran at the moment. The title of my this short speech is The Strategies of Character Assassination of Dissidents by Islamic Government, which is an update. Though the phenomenon of character assassination has been ongoing since the formation of that, namely Islamic Republic, it's been a few years that its forms, tactics, and victims have been changing and got new configurations. In recent years, specifically since Ahmadinejad's government's formation, we all have been witnessing a drastic increase in persecution and conflicts against dissident movements and voices of criticizing these radicalism. The practical features of such oppression can be recognized in two main streams. First is those conventional summoning, raids, detentions, surveillance, torture, and heavy sentences for dissidents. But the second and main concentrated stream or track includes coordinated projects of staining, demonizing, and demolition jobs against spiritual dissidents by governmental mass media and their affiliated organizations. On their way, as it was mentioned once earlier by one of my colleagues in 2011 in a similar meeting, and as you saw in that short film, holding national exhibitions, producing software, compiling books, and production of TV programs, such as some roundtables, TV serials, and pseudo-documentary TV series like that Armageddon, which consists of 104 episodes, could be outlined as some examples. Meanwhile, obvious and harsh attacks toward spiritual dissidents and religious minorities have been literally ongoing by the official organs of Islamic Republic, such as Kayhan, Risalat, Jumhuri Islami, and the well-known extremist websites such as Fars News and Raja News. The raw material of such programs have been nothing but distortion and transformation of the facts and making lies out of them. In the meantime, we have been witnessing them using some techniques such as fabricating pictures, cutting and extracting some patches of conversations, handwritings, and footages, and making forgery out of them, a matter of which all we can recall more or less within the past 3 decades. Bear in mind that such acts are all directed and coordinated by the Security Office of Monitoring and Confrontation with Religions and Religious Minorities in the Ministry of Intelligence, with direct collaboration of Ministry of Islamic Culture and Guidance, State Television, Islamic Developmental Organization, that سازمان تبلیغات اسلامی, Qom Seminary, which is the حوزه علمی قم, and the namely Research Office of Kayhan Institution. But following and analyzing the function of these propaganda apparatus within the past year or so reveals some changes in strategies and tactics by which the radical clergies and the designers of such acts are attempting to stain the character of their critics and the dissidents. As the first point, I can mention that since the direct staining and attacking the dissidents in mass media has resulted in some way, some reverse effect, it is now replaced by a new strategy, which is targeting specific and more limited audiences, while there is a partial silence in major mass media. In this new tactic, the character assassination is performed through speeches, secret bulletins, editing films, and distributing and publishing them in the second or third rank websites, or the blogs and the medias, which we can count as the second rank, not the official organs, and then broadcasting them or distributing them among those limited audiences. An example of that could be seen on the recent fabricated films, which have been published extensively by some blogs and non-famous websites. Among those limited audiences, why such as we can just make an example of them, like the university students or the high school students, the youth or official staff. The second method is faking the history, distortion of the facts, and making fake terms. For example, in one of those films, an unknown and unfamous clergy is speaking about Mahatma Gandhi, the Hinduism, Dalai Lama, and Elyasin, neither of which of those accounts have a historical background, and nor they are true, but all they are fake. The third point is that introducing well-known figures as the agents of government. I mean, since they have realized that some direct media attacks are not that effective and might have some reverse attack on the audiences, as their third trick, they are using a security tactic newly, which has already applied for some civil society activists, and that tactic is raising doubt about them being governmental agents. In this method, suspicious accounts supported with fake documents or without them are stated by namely non-governmental sources which attributes espionage and being government-related to those whom are considered as security subjects. We recall the most recent victims of such methods as Akbar Ganji, Mr. Ali Afshari, Mohsen Sazgara, Mojtaba Wahedi, and some others. And the fourth point is that the cyber attacks and making ambiguity on behalf of well-known members of dissident groups. In this method, they spread rumors and target the dissidents by faking their members. For example, a Baha'i repentant, the individuals who have got separated from dervishes or Sufism, Burujerdis, or some spiritual movements like the Irfan Halqe, which is the Inter-Universal Insight, or Elyasin community, either of them. It's been a few months that the process of attacking and hacking the personal emails and social network accounts has drastically increased based on the result that we are monitoring these incidents quite frequently, by which the hackers are trying to fake the victim and undermining that movement which they are attributed to. Some instances of such actions can be said as the creating fake accounts of the BBC staff, as well as hacking the emails and Facebook account of the spokesperson of Association of Thinkers and Researchers in the United States, then publishing some undermining accounts against Mr. Peyman Fatai or Ilya Ramallah, which is the leader of Elyasin and the president of Association of Thinkers and Researchers. Though the issue is under investigation by some US security organization, but it implies the necessity of being cautious and extremely alert about such incidents and attacks. As a summary and suggestions, I can mention that using such tactics are ongoing while the official organs of the government are partially silent. This is an important point, because this is an intentional method of which they gain the most desirable result out of it. This is a point to be alerted about. In other words, the current attitude of well-known extremist media, such as Kayhan and Risalat or the state television, because the film that we saw at the moment dates back to about a year ago or so. But at the moment, when you monitor their action and their attitude, there is a proportional silence in them. And instead, they are spreading those fake documents and the rumors and those lies and attacks, and they are assassinating the characters of those leaders or spiritual movements or dissidents through those weblogs and the unknown websites. And then these causes, because they are not reflected by the important media in Iran, this causes that the international opposition media not to pay enough attention and address the demolition jobs which is ongoing against the above-mentioned categories. This means boycotting them in terms of circulating the information and reflecting the news about them. In turn, it can cause that prevent taking proper action by the human rights organization as well. And this is the exact result the oppressors are looking for. This has happened partly to Mr. Muhammad Ali Taheri, the leader of Irfan Halqe. He has been sentenced, he has been fined, and then based on the latest news that we have got, he has been under hunger strike, but nobody paid attention and nobody talked about that. Why? Because the official organs of the Islamic Republic intentionally didn't reflect the news in order not to grab the public attention. A similar situation happened on the matter of Peyman Fatai's for detention along with some members of Association of Thinkers and Researchers on October 2012. Indeed, sometimes one may wonder the function of opposition Farsi-speaking media abroad might unconsciously and unwantedly affected by this trick of governmental tribunes and websites in Iran. The second suggestion and point is to face and deal quite smart and conscious with the governmental viruses. Indeed, their forgery and distortions are sometimes so professional that distinguishing between the right and wrong is quite difficult. Therefore, it is necessary for every and each of us and every human being, I say, at least to think about the following question when they hear some suspicious rumor or unusual account about some civil activist or human rights activist or well-known figure. And the questions are, who is telling this? Why and in what condition they are telling this? And who would benefit or take advantage of the result of such accounts? The third point is to stay in touch, keep exchanging opinions, circulating the information, and avoid functioning in a monopolar or monodimensional manner for different movements and spiritual dissidents, religious minorities, and so on. Otherwise, it can cause their desirable boycott intensify. Fourth is paying attention to the importance of raising public awareness on the methodology of character assassination and divulging their tricks effectively and efficiently. And finally, informing the international organization and authorities to take proper actions responding to such tricks, even if the governmental affiliated organs avoid intentionally splash those news to their headlines. Thank you.